Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special housing and property report brought to you in association with the Bank of New Zealand. Today we look at the area of foreign ownership of New Zealand farmland, because in the last couple of days a new lobby group has been set up called Save the Farms. They've set up a website called savethefarms.org.nz. Behind it are Tony Bouchier, an undercover policeman, John McKerney, a Remuera property developer, and Kerry Hoggard, the former chair of New Farm, an agricultural chemicals company. Interestingly, that company has just been bought, 20% of it at least, by Sumitomo Chemical, and Kerry Hoggard has stepped down as chairman. This group, Save the Farms, wants a moratorium on the sale of Crayford Farms, the big dairy farm group, and currently Chinese interests are looking to buy that. They also want a moratorium on the sale of sensitive farmland. They want an urgent review of the Overseas Investment Act. Now, this is in tune with some of the comments coming out of the Prime Minister's office. John Key has talked about New Zealanders not wanting to be tenants in their own land. But it's worth having a debate about this, and we're obviously just about to have one. Why are we so hung up about land? Why is it that foreign ownership of land is bad, but foreign ownership of companies, such as in media, banking, retailing, is not so bad? Because on the face of it, land isn't actually portable. You can't chop it up, put it on a boat and send it back offshore. It's only useful here. And there have been many cases in the past where land has been sold to foreign investors and then bought back by locals. In fact, in California, for the last 30 or 40 years, they've been doing this regularly. In the 1970s, people sold land to the Saudi Arabians when the oil price was high. And of course, when prices fell, they bought it back off the Saudi Arabians and made a nice profit. You can actually make profits by selling high and buying low. And in fact, that's what the Californians did too when the Japanese came in the 1980s. What's different here? Could we be selling land to foreign investors at a high price and then buying it back later and making a big profit? And also, if we are going to look at foreign ownership of New Zealand assets, should we be consistent about it? Why are we focusing on land and not other assets? If we're going to do this, surely we should be banning the sale of residential land also to foreign buyers. What would happen to property prices then if we were to ban that? For example, in parts of central Auckland, up to half of the sales are going to Chinese interests at the moment. People who are having this debate about blocking foreign ownership of New Zealand land should be ready for a big drop in prices if that happens. It also questions our entire openness in our trade system and our capital flows. But if we're going to have this debate, have a proper debate about how we do it, not just focus on land. Because if you're going to block foreign investment in New Zealand assets, you'd also have to block New Zealand investment in foreign assets. And that may be something that people have a look at. My point here is that if we're going to have a debate about foreign ownership of New Zealand farmland, we also need to have a debate about foreign ownership of residential land and New Zealand ownership of foreign assets. We need to avoid the sort of xenophobia that's crept into some of this debate, simply because the Chinese are involved, potentially, in buying a big dairy farming group. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was a special housing and property report brought to you in association with BNZ. Again, though, these are my personal views.